The Tregithian burial chamber stands on the grass verge on the south side of the B3315, just west of the Merry Maidens. This important late Neolithic cairn was about 12 meters in diameter before the road was widened. 3 large capstones remain in place, and a 4th has fallen into the chamber. There is a cup mark on the upper face of the northern capstone. A remarkable stone covered with these mysterious cup marks is now in the Royal Cornwall Museum in Truro, but a cast replica has been placed where it was found beside the closed-off chamber entrance. Finds included cremated bone fragments and a complete urn, 38 centimeters high. Radiocarbon tests on the bone fragments returned a date of 1900 BC. We've now relocated to a nearby field and the Merry Maidens stone circle. The Merry Maidens stone circle is apparently complete. This beautiful Bronze Age ring of 19 stones is a true circle. The stones ranging in height from 0.8 meters to 1.4 meters were graded so that the tallest are on the southwest, with the smallest being directly opposite. The circle was restored back in the 1860s, when 3 fallen stones were re-erected. In the nearby vicinity are a number of outlying menhir, which means individual prehistoric standing stones. There is also a number of barrows and hold stones nearby. The Merry Maidens is also known as the Rosemodress Circle, and its Cornish name is Dawn's Main, or Dance of Stones. It is said that a second circle may have existed in a field to the west. The Merry Maidens is said to be 19 young women who were turned to stone for dancing on a Sunday, violating the Sabbath. The pipers are visible from the west side of the B3315 near Bowley Farm, 400 meters northeast of the Merry Maidens. The northeastern piper, which is the nearest to the farm, is 4.6 meters tall and is the tallest menhir surviving in Cornwall. Its neighbor, which is in the adjacent field, 99 meters to the southwest, is the second tallest at 4.1 meters. A line drawn from one to the other and continued southwest would touch the northwest quadrant of the Merry Maidens, but it is not visible from either of the pipers. Following on from the legend of the Merry Maidens, it is said that these 2 stones, or menhirs, known as the pipers, are the petrified musicians who played for the dancing maidens. The Lamorna Wink public house gets its name from the times of smuggling activity during the 18th and 19th centuries. The wink, in its name, refers to a signal used by locals to discreetly purchase contraband goods from the pub's previous iteration, as a kiddywink, which is a type of unlicensed beer shop. These signals would involve winking at the landlord to indicate a desire for smuggled items, or a drink that wasn't legally available at that time. We've now arrived at the beautiful Lamorna Cove, having walked approximately 2 miles from the bus stop near the Merry Maidens stone circle. Having only been on holiday in Cornwall once before, in Truro for the total solar eclipse of 1999, this is my first experience of coastal Cornwall. It's always been a type of location that I've wanted to experience, with its secluded coves and smuggling history. In a short while, we'll be heading along these cliffs in an easterly direction towards the quaint fishing village of Mousehole. We are going to walk along a short section of the southwest coast path. Lamorna Cove is squeezed between granite headlands, and is only accessible by land, along the deep wooded lane that we've just come along. This placid and unspoiled cove has a small crescent beach that's covered during high tide, sheltered by a sturdy pier and backed by a disused granite quarry gouged out of the rock. It makes a lovely place to join the coastal path and do some exploring along the way. The granite quarries were opened during the 1850s to supply stone for ports, piers, and breakwaters around the country. Lamorna granite is easily recognizable because of its unusually large quartz crystals, often 10 centimeters in length. Many pavements in Penzance, particularly in Chapel Street, and in the older parts of town, are laid with large slabs which come alive and sparkle in the rain. The last quarry closed over 100 years ago. The original London Bridge was constructed using Lamorna granite, and Mousehole harbour walls are built using it as well. The cove, valley, and nearby cliffs were a favourite haunt for artists like Harold Harvey, Samuel Birch, and Harold and Laura Knight. They were part of the Newlands School in the decades before and after the First World War, and became known as the Lamorna Group, and whose story is told at Penley House Gallery in Penzance. Many artists still live and work in and around the valley. It is said that the light around Lamorna is something special. But first, we will pause for a drink and time to enjoy this lovely cove.
Otter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Not to your mother. If I find I might find
Well, it's long. It's long here because.
As we head away out of the cove on the southwest coast path, we're able to pause and take a last look back towards the beautiful and tranquil Lamorna Cove. We realized quite quickly that this walk from Lamorna Cove to Mousehole, which is approximately 4.5 miles, along the southwest coast path, isn't going to be so easy. As well as the footpath being uneven, there are sections that are very narrow and close to the cliff edge. The footpath takes us up to the top of this cliff, with its rocky outcrop, at the eastern tip of the bay. Carn Du is a rock outcrop that sits at the eastern tip of Lamorna Bay. The Cornish name of Carn Du translates as the Black Rock, which seems a fitting description. Some sections are strewn with large boulders that are quite difficult to climb over, as we discover later during our walk. Tartar Du Lighthouse is Cornwall's newest lighthouse, built in 1965, after a small Spanish coaster called the One Ferrer, on the 23rd of October 1963, capsized with a loss of 11 lives. Now having reached Carn Du, we leave Lamorna Bay, turning and heading due east towards Mousehole. With the English Channel to our right, and Mounts Bay, and the Lizard Peninsula, in front of us. This section of the walk is easy going, and we make good time. It was lovely to see so many people walking and enjoying this beautiful coastline, with its many variations throughout this popular walk. This part of our walk passes through the pine forest of Kemule Crease Nature Reserve. Kemule Crease is unusual and unmistakable due to its huge conifers, which form a coastal landmark. These fast-growing, salt-resistant Monterey pine and Monterey cypress were planted back in Victorian times to act as windbreaks, as the cliff edges were used for planting bulbs and potatoes. The thick tree cover limits what can grow beneath the canopy, but the damp conditions are good for fungi. An unusual fungi which can be found here is the earth star. Kemule Crease can be seen close to the sea, in the distance, and this shows the climb up since leaving there. As we started to get much closer to Mousehole village, we decided to take a short diversion along an extremely narrow and difficult footpath down to the Mousehole. The cave, known as the Mousehole, is where the village gets its name. We didn't realize quite how tricky the path would be, and we didn't know that we wouldn't be able to access the cave entrance, which is possibly only accessible by a boat from the sea. After our brief visit to the cave, we retraced our steps up to the road, and then walked into Mousehole village in the harbour. Our walk today has been about 7 miles long, and even though we both feel exhausted, it's been a really enjoyable and rewarding day exploring new and varied terrain. This isn't our only visit to Mousehole, as we have plans to return in a few days. The Fitzroy barometer was loaned to Mousehole back in 1854 by Admiral Fitzroy, who was the founder of the Meteorological Office. The Met Office gifted it to the Mousehole Harbour Authority in 2009 as a permanent fixture, 154 years after its initial loan. It is positioned on the exterior of the ship in Mousehole Harbour. It is here at the ship inn where we had a drink and meal before heading back. The ship inn is famous for the stargazy pie, served here on the 23rd of December, Tom Borcock's Eve. Since the 1950s, the date has been marked by a parade in the village, with a pie, which is served up in the inn after. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care.